And now for the finishing touch. The cycle of bureaucracy.
As you progress in the game of Stellaris and your empire gets bigger, your empire size, now that used to be called Empire Sprawl, will increase. And depending on how much empire size you have, you'll get some technology cost, tradition adoption cost, and edict cost modifiers. They are going to make it more difficult to purchase technologies and more difficult to purchase traditions, and downright impossible to pay for edicts. We generate our empire size from districts across our empire, the ownership of star systems in our empire, the number of colonies we have in our empire, and also the pops living on those worlds. Gaining more systems, building more districts, growing more pops, or constructing them, is a natural part of the game. But we really do want to minimize the penalties we're getting from our empire size. So how can we do that? There are three types of empires we need to look at. The first is going to be a regular biological empire. Some things we can do to reduce our empire size modifiers start off in the empire creation screen, or alternatively, you can change them during the game. That is our governing ethics, our civics, and our authority. So the fanatic pacifist civic is going to reduce the empire size modifier from pops by 30%. That's 15% for regular pacifist, doubled up to 30 for fanatic. If you are any form of egalitarian, you can take Beacon of Liberty. That is going to reduce your empire size from pops by a further 15%. So already we have a 45% reduction here just from our ethics and civics alone. Alternatively, you could choose Dictatorial Empire Authority, and that will give you a flat 10% empire size modifier. However, you will not be able to have Beacon of Liberty with the Dictatorial Authority type, because Beacon of Liberty does require you to be some form of democratic and have egalitarian. I would say that the majority, 60 to 70% of your empire size, is going to be coming from your pops, so Beacon of Liberty is a much better pick than Dictatorial. If you want to reduce your edict upkeep, you can also take Cutthroat Politics. That's going to give you a 20% modifier. However, the one type of empire you really don't want to be is Corporate Authority. That will give you a flat 25% empire size effect, which is really, really unpleasant. And you don't have anything as good as Beacon of Liberty. If you go for Megacorp, you can only take franchising to reduce the empire size from branch offices, or private prospectors to reduce the empire size from systems. As neither of those are really the main components of empire size, it's not going to be very good for you. And if you're enjoying this video, please reduce the size of that like button. We can also take the docile trait on our species. That's going to reduce our empire size from pops by 10%. However, this one won't stack with those previous bonuses I've mentioned. This will actually be multiplicative, but will stack with your governor's skill level. The skill level of your governor will further reduce the empire size from pops for any sector that governor is governing, at 2% per skill level. Looking at traditions, if we go down the expansion tradition tree and we take courier network, the empire size from systems and colonies will be reduced by 25%. The finishing effect for domination takes another 10% of our empire size from pops down. The finisher for harmony also reduces empire size from pops by 10%. Imperial prerogative ascension perk will take 50% off your empire size from planets. With regards to technology, the psionic theory technology, that's going to knock another 10% of your empire size from pops. And construction templates will reduce your empire size from districts by 10%. When we combine that all together, we can get some pretty great reductions. Here I have an empire with 183 empire size, and that translates into about an 8% additional cost for technology and 16% additional tradition adoption cost. However, we are only getting 51 empire size from 274 pops across our empire. That's because we're getting a base reduction of 26% for the pops on these planets due to our governor and also the docile trait. That's then being multiplied by a 75% reduction from all of those traditions and technologies and the fanatic pacifist ethics and our civics. By combining this all together for a healthy sized empire of 8 colonies and 274 pops in the mid game, we get a 4-fold reduction on our tech and tradition adoption cost penalties. But what do you think of the new empire size mechanics and the methods I've outlined here to reduce the penalty from your sprawl? Let me know in the comments section below. But what about machines? Well, machines are in the unenviable position of having a governing authority which gives them a 50% empire size penalty from the number of planets you have. That is the number of colonies. You do get a 15% empire size reduction from pops, but that overall can leave you in a poor position. There are still a couple of things we can do to reduce this empire size problem. Modular depots in the domination tradition will give us 25% reduced empire size from districts. We still get access to an equivalent version of courier networks, that is extensible software, and domination and synchronicity both reduce our empire size from pops by 10%, and imperial prerogative works in the same way. Additionally, the OTA update civics will reduce your empire size from pops by a massive 20%. Whilst this combination is not quite as good as being fanatic pacifist if you're a regular biological empire, you can still get a massive 55% reduction to your empire size from pops at an empire level, and an equivalent reduction to empire size from pops at a species level by taking streamlined protocols. This is the machine version of docile. By combining these all together, we've reduced our tech penalty from around 80 or 90% down to 40%. That's quite a good reduction. That's about a 25% discount. And if you're enjoying this video and other videos on this channel, you can help to support this channel by either becoming a channel member, supporting this channel through Patreon, or purchasing something on the Humble Bundle store. Links to all of these are down in the description below. But the true winners of empire size reduction are Hiveminds. Hiveminds get a base 25% empire size reduction effect, which is absolutely crazy. That's just applied across the board. In addition, they've got some great civics. Subsumed Will reduce your empire size from pops by 20%, and Divided Attention will reduce your empire size from planets by 50%. That means in combination with Imperial Prerogative, you will get no empire size from the number of colonies you have.
It's free real estate.
For Hiveminds, Synchronicity is the same basically as Harmony, and that will reduce our empire size from pops by 10%. Domination will also give us another 10% reduction to our pops. We can of course take the Docile trait as we are a biological race. And in Expansion we get access to Limited Autonomy. That will give us a 25% reduction to our system numbers. We don't really need to even look at the colony numbers because we've already got a 100% reduction there. When we put this all together, we're getting some crazy bonuses. 40% reduction from pops. We've completely eliminated the sprawl from the number of colonies, as well as construction templates and limited autonomy, reducing our sprawl from districts and systems. And then after all that is calculated, we get a minus 25% effect. That means for this empire, which has 8 planets, 24 systems, 90 districts, and 338 pops, we're only getting a plus 12% technology cost, which is absolutely bonkers. It's important to note for the first 100 empire size, you get no effect to your technology or tradition adoption cost. And for every 1 empire size you go over 100, you get plus 1% tech cost, you get plus 0.1% tech cost, and plus 0.2% tradition adoption cost. So at the beginning of the game, you really don't need to worry about your empire size. Later on, you may want to reform your government to get civics like Subsumed Will or Divided Attention in there, or as a regular biological race, you may want to promote and embrace the pacifist faction in order to get that massive bonus reduction to your empire size from pops, and then shift over into getting Beacon of Liberty as well. But these are all things you'll want to do in the mid to late game, definitely not at the beginning of the game, simply when your empire starts growing to a point that you are feeling the pain of empire size penalties. And if you want to push your empire size down even further, there's something else you can do as well that I haven't covered yet, as it can be very, very costly. And that is Planetary Ascension tiers. If you ascend your planets and pay for Planetary Ascensions, For every level of Planetary Ascension, you will reduce the Empire Sprawl from that planet by 5%. So if you get up to level 10 on the Ascension tiers, you'll reduce the Empire Sprawl from that planet by 50%. That is the pops, the districts, and the effect of the planet itself in terms of the Empire Sprawl from colonies. So if you can spend the millions, and it is going to cost you millions to ascend all of your different worlds, then you can really push down the Empire size penalties. Reducing your sprawl is one way to improve your research speed. Another way is to simply rush research production. If you'd like to know more about how to tech rush in the latest version of Stellaris, click the video on screen now.